Sampling in the MPC ONE is easier than you think. The sequence. What is going on, people? So we are back at it again, and I love doing these videos because I see a lot of you guys responding very positively to the MPC ONE videos. So I definitely want to cover how to sample in the MPC ONE because I believe a lot of beginners are out here and a lot of people have questions about that. So leave a comment below if you have any questions or any suggestions for a topic in the future, and I'll definitely get to it. So let's begin the process. So everything I'm going to tell you in this video does translate to other MPCs like the MPC Live and X, but specifically it will be for the MPC ONE, which is right in front of us right now. So what we're going to do is start with an empty project so we can look at our main screen here, which has the sequencer, the track, and drum program, which we're not going to worry about right now. We're going to press this one button right here that is called the sampler button. And it brings you right into the sampler. It's the one reason why I like the MPC ONE is all these button layouts here. We're in the sampler, and you can see the sample length, the arming, which arms the sampler itself. So whatever is going into the ends here in input 1 and 2, it will be heard, and the sampler will begin to record it. So there is another feature right here, or option called max length. So the max length is at 20 seconds. It can be adjusted to more time. There's another parameter right over here, and it's called the threshold. So you can adjust this threshold, and therefore it will start at the beginning of whatever transient is at the beginning of whatever you're sampling here. And mind you, we are sampling Minecraft right now. So I have sampled this before on this channel and I didn't get a copyright claim, so I'm going to use it again. What we're going to do is we're going to adjust the threshold. I'm just going to keep it for right here for right now, and I'm going to go ahead and press record, and let's hear the sample. Well, we can't hear anything, and the reason why you can't hear anything is because you have to hit this monitor button. And as you can see, since my threshold is set too high, nothing is being recorded. So I'm going to go ahead and exit out of this, and I'm going to hit this card. So that's another thing. If you don't like what you record, you can hit the discard button and it will get rid of that sample that you did. So I'm going to go ahead and just bring the record back. Now I'm going to set this threshold so that the volume will be recognized. It's a really good tool. And also I want to talk about something else too. You can slice this on the fly as you sample stuff in, but I'm not going to do that for this video because I know you guys want to do the sampling technique that I do. So I'm going to go ahead and press arm, and now I'm going to press play on the turntable. And if the threshold is too low, you can adjust it there. Just going to let it record for a second here. Now I'm going to stop it, stop the record, and now it brings me to a screen where it tells you to name the sample. So when you're naming a sample, my best advice for you is, especially from vinyl, is to name it from the title of the record. So this is Minecraft, so I'm going to type in Minecraft. I'm going to type in the side it's on, so it's side A, and the groove number. So it's the first groove, and I'm going to hit this numeric button here and put in 1. And I'm going to select do it. And there you go. Minecraft side A, groove 1. So from here, now I'm going to press keep because I'm happy with what I got. Keep. And you see you're brought back into the sampler. Don't worry, your sample is not gone. It is just in the sample edit screen. So all you have to do to access the sample edit screen is to hit sample edit. This little shortcut right here. And now you can hear it by pressing on the yellow pad. You can stop it by hitting the red pad. So what we want to do here is you can hear that the sample itself is extremely low. So you're going to press the process shortcut and you'll be greeted with process slice. And what we're going to do here is, since it's on this card, we're going to hit the data knob and we're going to select normalize. Normalizing will bring all of the volume of that track up to 0. So the biggest peak will be at 0 dB. So we're going to listen to it now. It is quite loud. I'm going to stop it. So next thing we're going to do is mess with these cue links, which are provided to us, and they are great. What you can do here is just adjust this top cue link. Now, these different cue links have different features. So right now, I'm doing the beginning of the track, so the start point. So what it's doing is moving in increments of 1,000. So what I'm going to do here is addition. Get to a point to where I like. So I like this part right here. I know some people will say, man, that seems like a lot. So this next one will move in 100. This next one over here, this next parameter will move in 10s. And this last one, 1. So you're gonna do micro adjustments. So now that we have that, what I'm going to do is mess with the cue link again. I'm going to hit this cue link button, and it's going to bring me to the endpoint. So the endpoint is the end of the sample. So what I'm going to do here is adjust it to the end part. So I'm going to listen to the sample of what I want to use. And then adjust it to the point that I want to get to. So you can play towards the very end of the sample by hitting this pad. So that way you don't have to wait so long, and then just adjust. Now we're going to begin another process, and this is something I want to tell everybody. This is a very good technique to have, and this is tap tempo. So tap tempo, what it will do is it will tap in the BPM of the track. And this is very useful for not only time stretching, but for just getting a natural rhythm of where you're going to be with the track, how you're going to go with it. So let's go ahead and use tap tempo. I usually just hit the pad so I can play the beginning and tap it in. So I know that everybody won't be able to do that, but don't worry about it. 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. So now that I count as 2 bars. So let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. And now you tapped in the tempo, and now you don't have to worry about that. So what we're gonna do though, we're gonna get rid of all this extra stuff on the outside because we don't need that, right? At least not in this example. And how you do that is you go back into process, and you're gonna select where it says normalize, discard. And it's gonna discard all the stuff on the sides. You can see it has 2 X's on the side, and it has this big old slice in the middle, and you wanna get rid of all that extra that you have here. So once you click on discard, it'll bring you to this window. It'll show you 2 trash cans and then the guts. So that's the start point. Everything that's inside of the start point will be in there, and then everything to the end point, that where the end point was at, will be trashed as well. So therefore, let's go ahead and do it. And now we have a new sample that's perfectly cut. Now we can begin another process here by going into this trim button, which is another screen called chop. Now you can do different kinds of chops, and for the most part, I like to do manual chops, but you have threshold here, and it will set it to the threshold of every transient. That ain't what I want, but that's just good to know. Then you have regions. Not what I want either, but it's cool to know that that's there. Then you have BPM. But one thing I want to point out is this BPM feature is really good if you want it to be that way. You can set the time divisions too as well, and I want to show you that too. So you can have it on 1/8. And yeah, that's good. And you can do the like 4 slices and so forth. So that's one thing I like about the BPM chop, but I'm going to go into manual chop here. So I'm going to go ahead and just hit undo and get out of all those chops. And now we're going to start for where I like to do, and that's manual chop. So you can adjust these two as well. Make sure that you set your cue link if you want to start like adjusting the start points of the samples. Make sure that you have the cue link at the first red dot right here instead of the second or third or fourth. So and you can adjust like this right here. You might want to get rid of the pop. One thing I did over glance is that you can zoom in on the sample, and you can use both the pinch and the stretch to zoom in on the sample, and one finger to look at all of the sample that you want to use. So therefore you can adjust this from the start and end points that way as well, and also before you go into the chop process when you're in the trim window. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make this the exact size I need it to be for right now, and I am going to press shift and convert. And what convert is going to do is going to make it into a drum program. So now that we have that, I'm going to choose new drum program using slice, non-destructive slice, and then do it. Now that we have that, we can go into the main menu here, and now since we did tap tempo, you have 72.73, so that way you understand where you're at as far as like your idea for your track. And now you can go over here to your drum program from any track that you want. You can do it on track 1, 2, or whatever. And now you have your Minecraft side A groove channel. And let's play it. Now you can hear that it responds to like velocity. You can turn on full velocity or full levels. So what I'm going to do is lay down the drum line, and then we're going to lay down the sample. Now that you have everything chopped up, what we're going to do next is just go ahead and grab a drum of some sort, some drums, and I'm going to just type in trap. And now we can access every trap drum kit. I'm going to go ahead and select that. Now I'm going to select my drums. Let's lay down some drums real quick. All right, now I'm gonna go to track 2, and I'm gonna grab the sample that I just chopped up, Minecraft. Let's go. Let's go. Alright, now we have something laid down. So the next thing is, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, can it time stretch or whatnot? And what you have over here is an option to where it says warp samples. So what warp samples will do is it will warp each individual sample depending on what pad you have it on. So if the sample was cut correctly during the trim process, then it will time stretch correctly. So I'm going to go ahead and test that out and see if I did it correctly. So go ahead and mess with the data knob here. So it wasn't done very well. Now, however, there's a saving grace here. Don't trip, be super cool, calm. It's quite easy to get to that. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go into my main menu here in main mode, and I'm going to hit this gear knob. And what you're going to do here is something I've already done, but I want to show you guys in retrospect. And you want to choose the audio algorithm to be MPC least CPU, so therefore you don't use up a lot of your virtual memory, but you can have your audio tracks auto warp. And what that entails is this right here. So what you're going to do is take this sample, and we're going to go over here into this pencil. This pencil is going to tell you bounce to audio track. So what I'm going to do is press bounce to audio track, process it, and now let's hear what we have. So BPM, and press play start. Now let's press it. It's as simple as that. And that's basically it. That's how you sample in the MPC ONE. Tell me how you feel about this video. I definitely enjoyed creating it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it and you got something from it. Again, leave a comment below. I definitely want to hear from you guys of a topic that you want me to cover about the MPC ONE, and I will definitely do a video on that very soon.